Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out and checking out what this challenge group thing is all about. Now, you are probably watching this video because a friend or a coach or someone you know has invited you to an online virtual challenge group. And first, I want to express how excited I am for you because I know firsthand how truly life-changing this can be. I've been coaching now for 5 years, and as a coach, I have been a part of some absolutely incredible transformations, and I have seen people just totally transpire from the inside, transform from the inside out. So sharing this is absolutely just a gift that I am honored to be able to pay forward. So let me start and tell you a little bit about me. I am a mom. I have 2 baby boys. They're not really babies anymore. My son, Nick, is 6, and my son, Dom, is 3. But when I started this whole coaching thing, I was actually at this point where I was teaching full time. I had a lot on my plate. I would be running back and forth. I would be at school, come home, do the shift of dinner and cleaning and cooking and all of that. And I felt like I wasn't having enough energy to keep up with my son. And I hated that feeling, but I also felt like there was just not enough time in the day for me to take care of myself. And so I set myself into this zone of what I found as comfort. I was eating a lot. My husband and I were eating out a lot. We were spending way too much money on takeout food. And I was tired. I had no energy. And I knew that I needed to make a change. At the time, I had never heard of a challenge group. And Facebook is definitely not like it is today. But I did see an infomercial for a program called Insanity. And my husband and I were on a pretty strict budget on that time at that time, and we had given up our gym membership. So I decided that I was going to make my health a priority. And so I woke up 45 minutes earlier than I was used to. At the time, it was 6 a.m. and I got that alarm clock set for 5:15, and every day I set out to make myself a priority. Now, on this journey with health and fitness, this is still something that I do. It is hard as moms, as wives, as full-time employees to fill our cup first, to take that time to make sure that we are doing the things that are going to benefit ourselves and the people around us in the long haul. You know, as a mom, I knew that having the energy to keep up with a crazy energetic toddler was not going to just come on its own. I needed to create that energy, and I knew movement was going to be my best bet. I knew that losing that 25 pounds that was just sitting on my waist was something that was going to benefit not just me physically, but my family as well. And I also found that it creates a ripple effect, right? So when you are your best version of yourself, you feel this confidence, this energy, this ability to really pour on to others. And I talk a lot in my challenge groups about the idea of filling your cup first, taking care of yourself first. So I know that your questions are very likely, well, tell me a little bit about the cost. But before I get into that, let's be honest. If you just Google the word diet, weight loss, or you go to Pinterest and you just look, there are a million different exercises, a million different pills, a million different promises, a million different types of diets out there, and it can be just completely overwhelming. You know, if you're like me, you don't know where to start, and to dive into that is just, it's hard. It's hard to find that time to figure out exactly what you need, and this carb or that carb, or don't eat carbs, eat too much protein. And it just wasn't simple. And for me, I need simple. I need simple. I need to the point. I need instructions. I need somebody to say to me, okay, Katie, there's a lot of options out there, but this is where you need to be. This is what you need to do. And you know what else I am very adamant about now at this point is diets don't work because they almost set you up for failure. Because once your body sort of goes on these diets, you might have this great weight loss, but eventually, especially if it's a low calorie diet, you're going to want to make those calories up and your body is going to readjust itself. I mean, how many of us have started a diet program, started a diet program, lost a ton of weight, and then gained it right back? It's frustrating. It's annoying, and it's something that we don't need to do. The truth is, with our challenge groups, we don't focus on diets. I mean, that is not the focus. I have been doing these for 5 years, and I can honestly say I do not diet. And I have found this to be a lifestyle that really works for me, and a lifestyle that I have the opportunity to pay forward to other people. So I lost control of my computer for a second. Does that sometimes. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about how it all works and what it's going to mean for you. So I love our company. I love the setup of the challenge groups. And how it works is you are going to have access to a free downloadable app. And on that app, we are, as a group, going to work together to achieve our fitness goals. I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail. But here's how it used to work. I used to create these groups on Facebook, and I would have these challenge groups going, and what I would ask for people to do is invest in Shakeology and a Beachbody workout, and it never failed. So, like, people would do it, they would get results, but then they would continually want the next program and the next program and the next program. And it just was something that I felt, I think that there is a better way. So let's look at some of the options that you have. Well, maybe you are looking into personal training. And so you decide, I am going to go to the gym. I'm going to work with a personal trainer. They're going to challenge me with my fitness. But you are going to likely, if you've experienced what I have, you're going to be paying a good amount of money. As a personal trainer or coach, maybe you're paying up to $100 an hour for their services, and you're only seeing them like once a week. And so each week you go in, but then you don't necessarily have the meal plans, or they're not a nutritionist. So they might give suggestions and tips, but they don't necessarily provide the meal plans for you. So maybe you cardio yourself to death, but you still don't have a handle on your eating. So you go back to this idea of, well, what are the diet plans? What should I follow? And then you play the guesswork game. Maybe you come across meal plans or shopping lists, or you search online or Pinterest, or maybe you are offered meal plans and shopping lists and you pay about $75 for those shopping lists. Or maybe you want a support group, or an online health group, or one that you go to in person, and you have to pay a monthly fee for that. Those charges add up. And the worst part is you don't even necessarily know if you're on the right track anymore. So Beachbody came up with this solution to give support, to have that accountability, but also to combine the idea of fitness and nutrition. So those three things together, support, fitness, and nutrition, became the key to hundreds and hundreds of these testimonials that you likely see online. They're pretty cool, right? Well, let's talk about how it used to work. Well, somebody would buy Shakeology every month, and I'm going to talk about what that is, or they would invest in the Beachbody workout. And let me share with you that over the past 5 years, I can't even tell you how much money I have spent on every Beachbody workout, close to $6,000 if you put it all together. And then they came up with the 21-day fix, which was great. People were seeing amazing results. It was real food, real eating, and in portion, and people were getting these amazing results. Those containers could cost about $20. And then every time you wanted a new workout for Beachbody, you would pay about $180 a year. And on top of that, you would be paying your $129, and gladly I would pay this over and over again for your Shakeology. But Beachbody created a better way, and that's the thing that I want to talk to you today about. One thing that I realized is some people come into challenge groups and they think, okay, this is great for 21 days, but what next? As a coach, our job is to make sure we are working with our challengers as long as they see fit, as long as they need that continual support. And so there is no support group fee. There is no fee for the meal plans and the shopping list. There is no coach fee. The only thing that you now have to pay with Beachbody is actually for what's called the 12-month all access challenge pack. Now, the price that they have listed is $199 for January and February of 2017. So I want to break down exactly what you get with this. So the All Access Challenge Pack is going to give you access to something called Beachbody On Demand. Beachbody On Demand is a streaming program. You click on your Team Beachbody account, click on Beachbody On Demand, and you have at your fingertips every workout ever created. I'm talking T25, I'm talking Max 30, Country Heat, Asylum, there is Core de Force on there, PiYo, every workout, P90X, P90X2, P90X3, plus some of the few ones that you probably have never heard of before are at your fingertips, including the deluxe. This Beachbody On Demand is a great opportunity for you to access exactly what program is going to fit for you in this point in your journey. So maybe you're at that beginner level, and over time, you can then work your way to more advanced workouts. Or maybe you like cardio, or more, maybe you like more weightlifting, and you want to have access. You now do. I am talking hundreds of workouts, well over a $6,000 value. You get every single one of them for an entire year. Now, you don't only just get that, but with that, you also have access to nutritional guides. You have access to the workout calendars. There's a great cooking show on there that supports the 21-day fix as well. And then with that, you also get access to the monthly challenge groups that your coach is running. So your coach is going to allow you to be in those support groups, those accountability groups that are going to make sure that you are getting those amazing results that you have invested in. And on top of that, the $129 bag of Shakeology that you would pay for is part of this as well. So you get your Shakeology, plus you also get the Fix containers. What's really cool too is that you receive a 10% discount on all future orders because you are now considered as a Beachbody On Demand All Access Challenger. You are considered a VIP customer. So you automatically are going to receive a Shakeology supply every month, so you don't even have to think twice about it with that 10% customer discount. Pretty cool, right? And I think I also want to mention that you also have access to possible cash prizes for sharing your story, your testimonial with Beachbody and letting them know how the programs have changed you, how your health has improved. So the All Access Challenge Pack is a challenger's dream come true. Somebody who wants to see results and sweat for something bigger and isn't sure where to start, where to get that accountability. You are going to get an amazing deal for $199. All right, so what I want to ask you is, why are you interested in this? You know, what is it about these challenge groups that kind of piqued your interest? Where are you on your fitness journey? You know, fitness isn't something that you acquire overnight. You don't necessarily get your end results just by working out for 21 days. And so I challenge you to ask yourself where your journey has been so far and where you see yourself going. Are you somebody who is constantly finding new diets, new fads, or are you telling yourself you're going to make it to the gym and you don't seem to schedule time? With the challenge groups, your excuses are invalid. You are working with other women who are on their own journey, and you are focusing on yourself. and you will have a group of women that are there in your corner cheering you on. And you're also part of a team, an amazing team of coaches who get the idea that every sweat matters. You know, we're sweating for something bigger. I tell my challengers all the time, you know, we are so blessed. Our feet hit the floor this morning. Let's do something with this day, you know? So for me, sweating became so much more than just the calories that I was burning. It was about the confidence that I was gaining. It was about changing my life and having more energy to keep up with my kids. It was about really, really focusing on how fitness is just part of what I do. It's become my lifestyle. And so I don't think about diets and I don't think about weight loss the same way I did. Instead, it's really about focusing on my health. And that is what success means to me. But one thing I encourage all of my challengers to do at first is define your success. What would it mean if you took off that 10 pounds? What would it mean for maybe your marriage? Or what would it mean for your energy level to keep up with your kids or your confidence? When you start to really focus on your long-term successes, the rest of it just starts to fall into place. You know, with the challenge groups and Shakeology and the fitness program, there is no guesswork. And I feel very compelled to talk to you for a couple of minutes just about Shakeology. You know, Shakeology is my go-to. It is all natural, nutrient dense. It is giving you natural energy to embrace the day ahead of you. As we sometimes get into this habit of losing weight, we feel really called to just cut calories. And Shakeology is going to fill those gaps where we often cut calories, we cut nutrients. Shakeology doesn't allow us to do that. It is going to be the essential nutrients you need to make sure that you are losing weight in a healthy way. Does it taste good? Absolutely. And it's something too that they feel so confident about that you can love it or leave it. You know, if you don't love Shakeology or the All Access for that matter, you are backed with a 30-day money back guarantee. Guys, I am so excited that you took the time to check all of this information out. My suggestion to you would actually be to reach out to the person who invited you here to check out this call. Ask them what you want to achieve. Ask them what challenge groups they're offering. And I look forward to hearing about your successes as a challenger in the near future. Thanks so much for checking this out, guys. Have a great day.